Sprinting up here, Kevin, getting ready to go. There's been a lot of action in the first two races on opening laps. There's been some contact with some aggressive moves. We'll have to see what happens here at Indy.
Lundqvist in that orange and black car has the preferred line, but you can go around the outside in turn one. From the world's most famous race course, set to cross the yard of bricks. It's go time for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Lundqvist gets the early jump. Sowery in the green and white car is behind him. That's Kirkwood in the blue and gray car looking at the outside. Frost trying to sweep around the outside. Lundqvist will get the spot. Sowery second, side by side for third.
Side by side, but single file. It was 3 wide through turn one. Kirkwood was jammed in the middle. They're still 2 wide further back as DeFrancesco has his nose in that bright yellow car. We're on board with DeFrancesco now.
He tried to get by his teammate Daniel Frost, can't do it, so they'll slot in the way they started, and here they come into another passing opportunity. You can defend, you can go the preferred line. That's what Lundqvist will do with Sowery right behind him. Malukas third, Kirkwood, and so on.
You can defend as long as it's proactive, Kevin. You can't react, but you can proactively move your car to try to take away the inside line, but it takes you off the optimal line as Robert McGinnis and Stingray Robb having a little dispute here over the same piece of track. We'll see what happens when they come to this brake zone.
Stingray has the preferred spot here, and he is going to get the position. You don't see a lot of overtakes right there.
Aggressive move, strong on the brakes, and now they'll come onto the front straightaway. We'll have to see what kind of draft these Indy Lights cars make. Pretty close there for Malukas in third, behind Sowery.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was speaking to David and his coach earlier today, and he was saying he was suffering from a lot of electrical issues the last 2 days. And it looks like, hopefully, he's figured that out, and that was definitely hampering him in qualifying.
Saw a lunge from Daniel Frost there in turn one. I believe that was on Pironi, and that's allowed Francesco to have a look at Frost in the infield section.
So Pironi is fifth. That's where he started, but he gets that spot back. Sowery and Malukas. Malukas trying to go the long way around. Sowery will defend and hang on to second right now. Malukas tries to look around the outside. Not there, but they're going at it for second, trying to chase down Linus Lundqvist.
Sowery looks like he's just kind of struggling to hang on to the tail end of his race car this early in the race, so got to be careful not to use up those rear tires, and it's going to be difficult because he has all kinds of pressure from Malukas, who came into this race leading the championship points, just 3 points over his teammate Lundqvist.
And Malukas is one of those that does have Indy Lights experience here from a couple of years ago. Lundqvist with just a little bit of a gap. Nothing happening there in the top three. Kirkwood has been able to gap Pironi just a little bit, then Frost, DeFrancesco, McGinnis, Stingray Robb. Christian Bogle has moved up some spots to 10th. Benjamin Peterson has slipped to 11th. Then Antonio Saravalli and Nikita Lostriskin. Pironi, or make that Bogle. Bogle is trying to get something done on Stingray Robb.
Stefan, I was talking with some of the race engineers as there's more action up front with Sowery trying to defend again on the inside. Malukas once again looking to the outside. He'll go for the over-under, but Sowery making life very difficult for Malukas, who's clearly quicker as Malukas goes to the inside. What a lunge! Had to back out of it.
How did they not make contact?
Wow.
That looked like it had tears written all over it as Lostashkin takes a roll through the grass, comes back on, loses even more track position.
And Stefan, I was just going to say before that action that a lot of these engineers really concerned about rear tire wear, especially by the end of this race with track temperatures at 110 degrees. That's a challenge.
Absolutely, yeah, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about that balance between how much downforce you want to run on the cars, but also how that impacts the drag down these two really long straightaways. So it looks actually like Sowery was a little bit more trimmed out, and now that gives, it looked like he was struggling in the infield.
Malukas did get him, slid a bit, hangs on to it. A lot of work for the last 2 or 3 laps for David Malukas to get that done. And let's see how much pace he has if he can speed away and make a run at his teammate Linus Lundqvist up front.
That last lap, Lundqvist at a 17.3, Malukas at a 17.4. So Lundqvist responds with the quickest lap on that run.
Christian Bogle still working, locks it up and goes around, trying to get Stingray Rob. Christian Bogle was really as racy as he has been so far in his first Indy Lights season. Remember, this is a young driver that just started driving anything 2 years ago. No karting experience. He's a big kid. He's about 6'4", over 200 pounds. One of the reasons why he moved up quickly from USF 2000, get a little more power. Thought he had it there, but not quite.
At this point here, David's got to stay close just in case Lundqvist makes a mistake. You know, that's really the only opportunity he's going to get to make a pass on Lundqvist is if he makes a mistake.
Well, last lap, Lundqvist putting his stamp on this first race here on Indy GP weekend, 17-0 to 17-3. So remarkable consistency. 5-6 laps within a tenth of a second, just a few corners to go.
And just took over the fastest lap of the race. Final few corners coming up for Linus Lundqvist. This team, Global Racing Group with HMD, is going to start the season winning 4 of the 5 races. Linus Lundqvist had never been to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. First time visit, he's going to cross the yard of bricks first. Linus Lundqvist has won at Indianapolis, his second win of the year to take over the Indy Lights Championship lead.
And Linus, you said your heart beat a little bit faster when you crossed those yard of bricks. How fast is it beating now with the win here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Well, I think it's gonna take a couple of hours for my heartbeat to come down, but yeah, no, feels incredible to give this one back to the team, and to get a 1-2 with me and David as well is incredible. So a massive thank you to them, all of my supporters, sponsor, and Honda HPD for getting me here today.
Back up front, it's the teammates. The red and black car of Malukas on the inside. Linus Lundqvist, who's won twice. In fact, both of these drivers have been able to get it done this season.
Good jump by Malukas there. That's a commanding lead coming into the first turn. And they're squabbling for the position of P2 behind him. Let's see how they go through turn 1 here.
3 wide almost for second. Lundqvist is going to be able to squeeze through, so it's side by side for third at the moment. Sowery's going to grab that spot in the blue and gray car, the Carlin car with some green on it. Peroni is trying to find room. Kirkwood trying to battle back there. Stingray Rob hangs on to a DiFrancesco in the yellow car, all fighting for positions. They make it through the first few corners.
Great job by the whole field to keep it clean through the first couple of turns, and that was super important for Toby Sowery. He's got to try and stay in touch with those two lead cars of the HMD Global Racing Group.
McGinnis, Peterson battling further back. That's Peterson in the orange and black car. Malukas is gapped by about 3 car lengths. Daniel Frost lunges to the inside on DiFrancesco. They come very close. They get through.
Wow, that was close. Yeah, Daniel Frost really trying to get by his teammate there. That's not a usual place to try and make a move into turn 9. It's very risky. And then you've got 2 teammates right behind, side by side. McGinnis on the grass.
No room.
Hangs on to it.
But he might lose the position. Peterson trying to sweep around the inside. Now he has the preferred line as he wiggles through and gets it done.
Wow, close racing there, and that's what you have when you have 4 teammates starting in the close quarters. So great job to keep it clean. Huge lockup there from Malukas into turn 1.
And Sowery gets by for seconds.
Wow, I was speaking to Toby Sowery just before the race. He wasn't sure he was going to have the pace early on. He knows when he gets a full fuel tank, he doesn't quite have the handling. It's when the fuel burns off that towards the end of the race, he really gets competitive. So great job by him to actually grab P2 on these opening laps.
A lot of action throughout the field here in the first couple of laps. Katie.
And Kevin and Stefan, yesterday was Toby Sowery's first podium of the season, so that means it was his best finish of the year so far. I asked him afterwards if it felt like a win after the start to the season he's had in Barber Motorsports Park. He was 13th and 9th, and he said a win only feels like a win, Katie. And I asked him what that meant for today, and he said, my plan really is to go even harder after that win. I know how to manage these tires better than Linus Lundqvist and David Malukas. After that terrible start to the season, we've got a lot of ground to make up, and I'm just really proud of how this team has come together after everything we've been through throughout the 2020 and 2021 season.
He's got the push-to-pass option. David Malukas is defenseless at this point. Also of note, we are 5 races into this season. The pole sitter has won every race and, in fact, has led every lap. So that means we haven't had a pass for the lead all season. I think we've got a chance to see one here today because Toby Sowery looks quick, but don't count out Lundqvist back there. He's within range at third right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think we're going to see a really tight battle here between all three. And there's McGuinness making a move around Stingray Rob to get that position. Great job by him to try and get into P8 there. Yeah, speaking to Sowery before the race, he was saying that this is one of the few tracks where that push to pass really comes into effect. It's about 15 seconds. Huge lockup there. Oh, and he's on the grass. That's Lundqvist. So both HMD Global Racing Group entries both have in front tire lockups. That's dropped him back towards P6 now. So
he lost at least 2 positions and maybe another one. DiFrancesco trying to sweep around the outside. Side by side now as they head down the main straightaway. Lundqvist is still going to have the inside line. Oh, this could get hairy coming into turn number 1. How are the tires for Lundqvist after just going through the grass? They'll stay side by side. They'll make contact. That'll potentially force DiFrancesco off. He hangs on to it. Lundqvist gets through.
Wow, that is some tie racing. Again, huge championship implications there. You know, Lundqvist is just trying to recover from that mistake, not lose another position, and try and stay in touch with that lead 4 group of cars.
So does DiFrancesco have the red mist right now? That was a battle for 5th, and now they're all bunched up. That red and white car is Daniel Frost right behind the yellow of DiFrancesco, and then Robert McGuinness is behind them. Let's see this again. We saw the onboard, now let's look straight at him.
Don't forget, Lundqvist is coming from a previous lockup at turn 13, so, you know, coming down to turn 1, another heavy brake zone. He's probably got that in the back of his mind as he starts to lean on that brake pedal.
And DiFrancesco somehow keeps it on the track. Lundqvist over the curbs. That's going to shoot the car potentially to the left.
Wow, they're lucky there that didn't result in more contact, and they're both able to continue their races. You can see Lundqvist again even locks that front right, that unloaded right front as he turns in. I really think that's going to be starting to hurt his race pace.
He's going to have just another try to get it done. The white flag, last chance going into turn 1. Malukas is not defending. Now he will come to the inside. Sowery's going to try the outside. Side by side going into 1. Can Sowery make it stick? Trying to go the long way around. They are side by side, nearly touch. Sowery into the grass. Malukas hangs on to the lead.
What great racing there into turn 1. Incredible stuff. They were going side by side, wheel to wheel, and I'm pretty impressed that they kept it clean there. That would have been a really bittersweet ending for Malukas if he'd lost the race lead and the final lap. What an incredible drive. But Sowery's not giving up. He's right there.
Done yet. Draft into 7. He'll think about the outside again. Can he do the over-under? Trying to come back around. Great job by Malukas. Hangs on. Sowery is still right there. He's been able to recover after the brief entree into the grass in turn 1. Peroni is still thinking about it back there in 3rd. Kirkwood is in 4th. David Malukas has a couple of more corners to go to hang on to win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sowery is right there.
I thought Sowery was going to lunge for the inside coming into turn 11 there. Didn't quite have a close enough momentum there, and it looks like Malukas is just going to be hold on. Can Sowery get it done?
One more corner to go. Back on the main straightaway. The draft will help just a little bit. Malukas will defend. Sowery to the outside, nearly side by side at the line. David Malukas hangs on by 2/100ths of a second. Almost like a Freedom 100 finish. This time it's on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Malukas has prevailed to take over the Indy Lights championship lead.
Did you know that you got that win?
No, I didn't. That was so tight. Oh, man. Oh, hold on. Gotta make a mess. Man, talk about stressful. We come from St. Pete. I'm like, it can't get more stressful than that. And then we come here, and Toby, my brother from their team, and oh, man, makes it even more stressful. I was in the straights on that last lap. I knew he had pushed the pass waiting. And when 2 laps came, I saw him just coming in, and I was like going from side to side, like, dude, please don't get my toe, please don't get my toe. Oh, I mean, I was trying everything I could at the end there. On like lap 2, I went to 1. I don't know if they showed it, but I had a huge lockup on the front right. And the Coopers, you know, as good as they are, I don't think any tire can last when you lock up that bad.
Watch the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 Sunday, May 30th at 11 a.m. on NBC.